Hi soap fans, I'm Allie and here is Phyllis, my Young and the Restless inspired cold process soap. I made this bar of soap to represent the character of Phyllis, and of course, it was going to be red. That part of the inspiration behind this soap was very easy to figure out, but when it came to the fragrance, it took me 3 different tries to get this scent blend correct. And let me tell you, it is sexy. It is sensual. It is exotic. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. As I sat down to blend this fragrance, I'm thinking, how on earth am I going to represent the force of nature that is Phyllis? I mean, she is, a force of nature is a really good way of describing her. I wanted to blend Phyllis as an exotic, spicy scent. She is fiery. It makes sense going with the red bar that it would have to be a spicy fragrance, but I didn't want grandma's kitchen kind of spice. I didn't want cinnamon. I didn't want it to smell like bakery. So instead, I chose spices that were closer to clove and black pepper. Just really deep and interesting blends of spices. And that was the very first fragrance blend that I tried. I knew I liked that, but it just wasn't quite there. I went back a second time and tried blending those same exotic spices, and I added in a little bit of sandalwood, which I think did a wonderful job of pulling everything together, but something was still missing and it was driving me crazy. So I put all my fragrance oils away. I came back a third time trying to get Phyllis just right. Blended everything exactly the same way, and still at the very end of it was not happy. As I was putting my fragrance oils away, putting away my clove, my pepper, my sandalwood, feeling the spicy part of it, there was one fragrance oil that I did not pull out of my closet, and it was an orange. And I just, as I was putting everything away, I thought, well, maybe. So I pulled this orange fragrance oil out of the shelf, plop it. I mean, I was getting ready to kind of toss away everything, all of my supplies and everything, and kind of get rid of what, my disappointing, not really hitting it on a third time try. So I decided just to toss in a little bit of sweet orange on top of all of these incredible spices, and boom, it was there. It was Phyllis. I tried several different times to sweeten up the blend with vanilla or like an orchid, a floral, something also exotic, but it just wasn't working. Phyllis isn't vanilla to me. There's nothing that's just overtly sweet about her. If Phyllis is sweet at all, it's in kind of almost a sour sort of way. So the second I added the sweet orange on top of all of those spices, it became its own thing. I mean, the word sexy and feminine and fiery and just downright just exotic, I would say, is how I would describe the fragrance. The bar feels really good on, and in fact there's sort of a roughness about the way that the batter turned out, because spicy fragrances will speed up your soap batter and it'll make them thick really fast. And if you want to see the making of this bar, you can check that out here on the channel and see what I was kind of doing to work with it. So it sort of sped up on me, and there are all of these kind of little cracks and crevices in the bar, and I'm really happy with how that sort of kind of turned out into the favor, because Phyllis isn't smooth. She is rough around the edges, and anything that she has earned in her life, she's worked really hard for, and she's had to bust through in order to make happen. So I'm really happy with how this bar turned out and the way that it represented Phyllis. So I hope you enjoyed hearing this little story, and that you subscribe to the Genoa City Soap channel to see more Young and the Restless inspired soaps. And I, of course, hope that you leave me a comment and come back next time for more.